What is Casper? If you know Bitcoin, you know digital money. If you know Ethereum, you know that it's all about the utility layer. And Casper is, as we call it, Ethereum 3.0. So we took the best things from Ethereum, added proof of stake protocol from the very beginning, and we started working on our own. So in that way, Casper as a blockchain is able to provide you the performance and the security that is backed up by proof of stake protocol. It's based on Casper CBC, which is the one that was originally invented back then, and we are the only protocol that managed to implement this and make it working on the mainnet. So Casper, since it's proof of stake, which we also have very low requirements and entry barrier to enter the blockchain. If you would like to be a validator, it's very, very easy to set up your own validator node. It could be like a small PC. You freeze a little bit of your tokens, and then you are already participating in the network consensus. Since the Casper is still kind of fresh project, it's also easy, and you don't need to invest like a millions of zlotys or dollars. It's just a matter of like a normal budget, and you will be able to participate in the consensus. You can also delegate your tokens to other validators if you don't want to run any infrastructure. And that lets us to prepare an environment that is both friendly for the users and for the devs. So here is the dev part. Yeah? So if you are a developer, just very quickly, you will have something that is very familiar to you looking at like a Web2 projects. So there is very much known structure of the files. We are based on Rust. With Rust, you have the possibility to test your application locally. It's quite fast. You can deploy this to the cloud, and we provide all of these tools already for you. So for humans, what does it mean? We have very powerful account management system. So for instance, if you have your own company, you can create one account that will be managing your tokens in a distributed way. So you could have like 5 guys in your company, only one will be the admin, and all of them will be participating in some operations that we can do on the blockchain. And then you can also integrate with the familiar toolset that you have at your hands. So you don't need to learn any new language. It's something that we create on top of Rust. We have our own library that integrates seamlessly with your existing system. Why I'm mentioning this? Since we are also very much focused on the enterprise. So if you have enterprise adoption and like any other projects, let's say you have your own development studio, you would like to create something that will be seamlessly integrated with your existing environment, and not to create dedicated team that will do Web3 development for you. So that is something that will let us to basically mix both the blockchain world and the traditional world all together. Just on this enterprise part. So since we are very much focused also on this part. We have the possibility to create various configurations of Casper. So if you've been following Casper, we were on mainnet I think 1.5 years ago, and from then on the network is stable, but this is the public network. So as you know, on the blockchain, all operations that you do, anything that is about transaction and is not backed up by, let's say, ZK snarks or so forth, this is public. And in our setup, you can also create your own instances of private blockchains where you can conceive some of the information and let's say hide this in your intranet network, and then mix it with our public network and make a solution that is on one hand secure. On the other hand, you can decide what goes private, what goes public. And this is something that I'm getting a lot of question about. So if somebody is coming to our booth, I invite you to go there. We have nice gadgets and swag and lottery, everything. They are asking me, you have like 20,000 blockchains out there. What is your differentiation point? So if you are nerd, that could be interesting for you, that our smart contracts are immutable, but they could be upgraded. So just imagine that you are creating your DeFi application and somebody found out that it's buggy. So you need to fix this bug. In Ethereum world, what you need to do, you need to fix the bug, audit that, and then you need to redeploy the smart contracts And that means that you will get new address. So as a follow-up step, you need to migrate all of your user base from the old smart contract to the new smart contract. In our case, what we can do, we can create a new version of the smart contract, and then we can tell the users the new version will be active in 2 weeks. So either you will withdraw your funds from the smart contract, or you do nothing and you will be automatically migrated to the newer version. So that gives totally new user experience where user is still interacting with the same contract address, but we are making sure that the logic underneath is up to date and is well secured. So that is also very important for the companies that we are cooperating with. So CP78, if you know NFTs, you have a little bit of understanding that there are a couple of smart contract standards in Ethereum world, and you can create something that is really non-fungible and unique. You can create something that is more similar to tickets that you sell for the specific event. And we do a very exact thing also with CP78, which is our smart contract standard. So we got all the features that you have like by default in Ethereum world, and we added a lot of stuff that is on top of that. So we have the notion of modalities. So for instance, you can set from the very beginning the kind of NFT. It could be virtual, it could be physical, it could be digital or mixed. So in that way, for instance, you are able to create a high value NFT that is bounded to some physical object in art gallery. So just imagine that you have a museum, you would like to tokenize their assets because maybe they need funds and they would like to get a little bit of support from the blockchain community. So we are creating the NFTs. You of course applying a specific license that tells you what you can do with this NFT object, and each NFT is bounded to a physical piece of art that is hanging on the walls. So that way you are able to have like a really seamless crossovers between the digital and physical objects, and that is offered and provided by default on Casper. And of course, a lot of extra stuff that is based on the basic capabilities of our platform. For instance, mutability of the metadata. So just imagine that you have your game and you have your character in the game. They are, let's say this is a warrior and you are fighting the monsters. So you have your sword and so forth. And as you are getting better, the items are also upgrading. So the sword is an NFT object. So instead of minting every time new version of the sword when you are advancing with your quests, you are just upgrading the stats that are bounded to this NFT object. So in that way, you can create dynamic NFTs that are living and evolving alongside with your character in the game. So that's something that we are offering also without any other extra effort. We have already like a full ecosystem environment available for you, publicly available. So we have the Blog Explorer, we have the Signer, which is our MetaMask wallet, basically. We have the possibility to deploy the contracts to the testnet, to the mainnet. You have the possibility to test this against our community already. So it's not that you are coming to the environment that you need to build on your own. This is just something that you are entering, and we are helping you to feel at home here. If you are concerned about the security and you have a Ledger device, then we have native support for keeping Caspers at Ledger. It's like easy step. You just installing one another app that is Casper, and then you are connecting to one of the hot wallets that are available on the network, and then you can securely store your Casper tokens where the private key is being stored on the Ledger device. Development environment. So just very quickly. So if you want to start developing on Casper, what do you need to do? You need to install Rust, you need to install the CMake stuff, and then go Casper. You have just 2 and your development environment is ready. So we already tested this on various hackathons. We have one of the shortest, let's say, learning curve. So it's not that steep. It's very easy to instantiate this. We have even like some examples that are running in a browser. Very easy stuff. Then after you have this environment ready, you just go to one of our explorers, you find your account on testnet, and you are ready to play. So that's something that we try to get under 30 minutes for fully onboarded users in terms of development. Then what is about the business side? So that's something that now we are very much focused here. So we brought like a whole team to Warsaw. This is our second time at CryptoVerse. We are now strongly cooperating and building with a couple of prominent projects from the Polish scene. We are still hungry for more. So if you have your own idea and you think that it could be worth to talking to us, deploy this to the blockchain, we have both possibilities for you to apply for the grant money. We have the possibility to create some kind of VC-like structure, and also we have always open possibilities to provide you the technical expertise on the projects that you are building. So even today, I was talking already to some of you guys, very interesting ideas, and we are like small enough to talk to you directly and big enough to really provide you great support in terms of projects that are building on our system. And if you go to casperblockchain.io, unfortunately I cannot run this short clip here, you will see currently we have around 140 projects that are already building or deployed on the mainnet, and these numbers are growing, so I strongly recommend you to check us out. We are the real deal, available on all social media platforms. We have community calls. We are very active on Discord with our developer community. We have Telegram groups. Jest też polska grupa na Telegramie, Casper Polska, zapraszamy. And this is my Twitter handle. I try to be quite active in terms of what we do on Casper. There's official one. LinkedIn, you name it. So basically, don't hesitate to write this down, contact us, and we'll be very keen to discuss further details of potential collaborations. Thank you, guys.